All right, so our goal today is to focus on improving and understanding how we allow ourselves to manage life during the most difficult times. We're specifically looking at grace and space. So, like all of you, I have had my own share of difficult times, including some very recent deep awakenings amidst some painful experiences. And as a minister of this community, I can definitely attest to the fact that whether you're online or here present, we have all, many of us have had our own share of challenges. And when it comes to difficulties and experiencing them, the key thing we have to know is that they don't give us any warning. They just show up. And when they show up, they blow up our lives. We're not prepared. And we couldn't possibly be, but it ends up making us feel disconnected from what is familiar to us. Our routines change, our life changes, our feelings change. And these events have the potential to disturb us and make us ask questions like, why me? How will I ever get through this? We may have heavy hearts. We may experience grief. We may feel anger. Sometimes we're just confused. And the unanswered questions continue to surface without ever answering themselves. When we're in the midst of the confusion, we don't get the answers because we're there to get the lessons of the experience. So we're waiting and trying to force something. But that is part of the problem. This society, this day and age, we want everything faster, including answers for our lives. We do not want to take time to wait and to be patient, to understand what's going on. We just want it fixed because we are so bad about wanting to fix everything instead of sitting in it and trying to just experience what is ours. If we're honest with ourselves, the truth is that none of us get a pass from life challenges. None of us. So if you haven't had one, I'm just saying, no one gets a pass, whether it's loss or transition, illness, loneliness, no one gets a pass. We're all going to experience some effect of change in our lives. And these are the experiences that test our spirit to its max. And they test our faith. And they make us question ourselves and doubt ourselves. But as we talked about the last 2 weeks, both times I said this, and I'll say it for week 3. Everything that shows up in our life is a sacred messenger here to teach us. We need to embrace these things even though we don't get them. So the real question we need to ask ourselves is, what can I do for myself during these confusing times? These difficult times are our invitation to create space in our life and to exercise and exhibit grace. Space to breathe and to feel and to be, just to be, and grace to forgive and to accept and to nurture ourselves. So let's talk about space first. Some people think space is emptiness, but space is possibility. In between those thoughts, in between us controlling our lives, that is where possibility exists. So if you're always trying to find the answer out of your ego mind and your intellect, you never allow space for your heart to share what is yours to do. God within us, That wisdom within all of us, there's no outside God. God isn't in the clouds, God is in us. That energy, that universal energy is within all of our hearts. We all have moments of wisdom that pops up and we say, who said that? I didn't say that. That's wisdom. That's where you get those experiences of grace. But when we're making space for ourselves, we create this sanctuary within us where we clear all the wounds so we can breathe, because sometimes it feels so emotional we can't breathe. Space is permission to pause in our lives, to step back from the demands of everyday life and exist without expectation or judgment. Judgment of us and judgment of everyone else. Space, where you do nothing but exist and listen. Just listen. Sometimes we need space to feel what we're experiencing it, but we want to rush through the pain. Oh, today's my day to feel it, and then tomorrow I got to get back out to work. Doesn't work like that. We can't escape it. We need to create space to honor our feelings, no matter what we are feeling, and allow them to rise and fall like waves in our life without thinking about what they mean. In the quiet of that space, we can listen to what our heart tells us and learn what needs to be healed. And sometimes all that's needed is space to rest. You know, our bodies are not machines that can run all the time. Even me, I need rest. I find that so difficult, though. But I need space and rest. And our soul, by the way, cannot find its path in this lifetime without us giving it a breather. We demand so much of ourselves. We have to get to a place where we're confident enough to be able to do something like say, I need to just take a walk, or grant ourselves a day free from obligations. Yesterday, Janine and Kirk went on a walk. She just lost her sister 2 weeks ago. And they were out walking, and it looked like a rainy place, but they sent me the most amazing video, she said. And she found this tree that just spoke to her, but she filmed it from bottom up, and I could just hear the whistling outside. But as she just revealed this tree, it was like, I just felt like I was in a space I hadn't been all day. It was just a moment to distract me, and it just filled my heart with that calmness and peace amidst a busy workday. When we take time like that, whether that's walking outside, meditating, journaling, praying, it gives us insights into our own suffering and helps us figure out what are the next steps. And while the answers don't come easy, the act of honoring the questions is the most important journey. When we have those questions, honor them. Just take them in. I question this. I don't know why I'm feeling this way. It's okay. Take it in and just be with it. This is when I wish we would all throw our phones out for 24 full hours. I swear I don't think young people can do it. I see Melody wake up and go find her phone, and I think, I wish we didn't live in that way. I wish we could just be waking up to peacefulness, not wondering who said what to who wrote us, who cares? Really, who cares? How about we just wake up and give ourselves grace? Just to have a moment before we put the feet on the floor and hit the ground running again for another day. So let's move on to grace. Think of it like this. If space gives us room to breathe, then grace is the soothing balm that comforts us. So grace is that kindness that we extend to ourselves when we're amidst struggles, or when we feel like we've made mistakes or our imperfections. Grace helps us to wrap ourselves in self-compassion and to be okay with who God made us to be in this moment. This is who we are, and we need to be okay with that. We are not perfect. We aren't meant to be. Stop it. We are meant to be loving and kind and compassionate to one another, including to ourselves. If you got just those three things right, you would be expressing God every minute of every day. Grace is what helps us forgive ourselves for not being strong enough in certain situations, for making mistakes. We need to let go of harsh self-judgment and remember that every experience, including our suffering, is part of our soul's journey in this lifetime. We also need grace to be patient with ourselves or our situations, because our transformation will unfold in time, but it's not our time and it's not on the clock time. It's how we need to be. Perfect example, Annette, looking for a job, brand new job this summer. Put it all out there. She didn't want to do the same place. She wanted something new. She patiently waited. Didn't like it, I know that, but she waited. And then when she least expected it, there it was. She's 2 weeks into that new job, starting week 3. And her whole life changed when she surrendered, when she stopped thinking she had to figure it out. It's exactly what works for all of us, but we don't stop. We don't stop. And you're a great example of that and a good reminder for all of us. Grace can help us trust in our faith and remember that we're not alone and that darkness will lift and there will always be light in the next day. Ultimately, we need to allow space and grace to work together for our healing, because without both, we cannot build our resilience and we will not be able to reclaim our highest good. Now, in trying to figure out what profound message I might be able to share, yesterday, after I finished making sure this was how I wanted it, I went online and I typed in space and grace because I thought there might be some profound thing I could share today. So I found this message on the Oddest Place, the Institute of Transformational Nutrition. Don't ask me how I got there. But there was this message, an article, so to speak, from the CEO. Her name is Cynthia Garcia. And it literally said, give yourself space and grace. I'm going to read it to you, but there's a specific reason I want you to hear it. And that reason doesn't come until the end. It says this: to say it's been a long year is a major understatement. Many people have had their mental health triggered in ways they didn't see coming. It happened to me recently, she said, and it was unexpected and tough. But in trying to move past it, I realized something, and I want to share it with you. We're living in a time where we feel unsure about so many things in the world. We're uncertain. We have mixed emotions about the things going on around us. That's why during this time, it's important to focus on giving yourself two things: space and grace. Give yourself the space to allow yourself to breathe, she said, to feel what you feel, to need what you need, and never apologize about it. And give yourself the grace to fill your own needs and to take the time, energy, and resources to bring whatever it is you need into that moment. She goes on to say, you're important. Your mental health is important. You have to take care of it if you're going to be able to show up for other people around you. Someone else always needs us, and there's always something that has to be done or taken care of that just can't wait. But remember this, you can't wait. You don't deserve to take a backseat to anything in your life. Whatever you need to be in a good place at any given moment, remember to step back and take time for space and grace and never apologize. Then she says this, let's end this year on a high note and promise to be a lot kinder to ourselves as we head into 2021. Yes, I said 2021. Now, what really got me is until I read that to you, you thought she meant this year. And you know why? Because every year looks like this. This is the reality. This is what I want you to get. What has changed since 2020? Life is going to be what it is. We're going to live in uncertain times. We're going to have doubt. We're going to have concerns. We're going to experience challenges to our needs. We need space and grace. All I want to leave you with is that space and grace are not luxuries. They are spiritual necessities in our life. Because when life is hard, we deserve to pay attention to what's happening inside of us. We deserve to have the courage to love ourselves through our experiences. And we deserve to remember that we are divinely capable at all times, even in our difficulties, of expressing God's best. Let's review today's lessons. Making way for the power of grace requires us to first create space when overwhelmed, take time for acceptance and healing. Number 2, to remember suffering is not the enemy. Suffering is our teacher in life. Number 3, to stop judging ourselves harshly. Mistakes are part of our evolution. And number 4, to acknowledge how strong we are, that resilience, because we are capable of God's best. The affirmation I have for today is the same title we started with. I make way for the power of grace. Let's say that together. I make way for the power of grace. I believe you. Our quote today is from Eckhart Tolle. All you can do is create a space for transformation to happen, for grace and love to enter. Let's take that in. So we pause now and say, thank you, God, for creating us in a way that we have the capability to create space and grace for ourselves, knowing that we need both. And without judgment, we step forward into this day knowing that divine love within us will shine to everyone who meets us. And that's all we need to get started on any day. And so it is. Amen.